Hello students, welcome to ShirtBack Academy. In our lesson today, we're going to begin Module 4, Software Development. This lesson will cover Section 4.1, Programming Language Types. Let's begin. What is scripting? Scripting is the use of programming languages to automate tasks in a runtime environment. It eliminates the need to manually execute program files line by line. Scripting uses short source code files to store programming commands. Good scripting will use simple syntax and semantics within the code. Abstraction is the process of hiding coding details that are not essential to file execution. This would include the available variable types, data storage, and memory. Compilers are computer programs that will translate computer code from one programming language to another. Interpreted languages are those that do not require its source code to run through a compiler. The coding instructions are processed through an interpreter. Interpreters will run a program line by line through the code. It executes each command individually. This process will take longer than compiled languages. Some common interpreted language you should be familiar with are Python, JavaScript, Ruby, and PHP. Compiled languages are those that require its source code to be translated into readable machine programming code. The translations take place in a software program known as a compiler. Compiled languages will typically run faster than interpreted languages. This is because all code translation takes place prior to executing the code. Interpreted languages will read the code line by line as it runs the program. Some common compiled languages include C and C++, Pascal, Golang, and Fortran. Markup languages are computer code that uses tags to define elements within the document. Markup files are human readable and will use standard words and syntax. HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. It's the language used to create web pages. Website content is contained within page tags that define the sections of the website. HTML will use these predefined tags for all of its coding. XML stands for Extensible Markup Language. It's a language that's used to store structured data. XML files will allow the coder to create custom page tags. HTML and XML files are saved in plain text file formats. This will allow for the code to be viewed or modified in any text editor. Query languages are languages that will create, read, update, and delete records within a database. We call this CRUD, C-R-U-D. DDL stands for Data Definition Language. This is the creation, modifying, and deleting of database tables. DML stands for Data Manipulation Language. This is when we query the database and update the data within its stored tables. Relational databases will use SQL, Structured Query Language. Non-relational databases will be any type that does not use SQL. Assembly languages are low-level programming code designed for specific processors. They were originally created for 32-bit processors, but now also run 64-bit as well. Assembly languages will share common coding instructions for the many command operations that it needs to work. Some common assembly languages include C and C++, ARM, and x86. That will conclude this lesson. In our next lesson, we will cover section 4.2, Organization and Logic. If you have any questions about the contents of this lesson, please review the course notes and exam objectives for section 4.1. We thank you for following along in the video, and we will see you in the next one. Enjoy the rest of your day, everyone.